ओम श्रुति स्मृति पुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शंकरं लोकशंकरं शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवत् व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। ओम पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी। नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयः प्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावः दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी कैवर्तकः केशवः। Can you all hear me? Yeah? Okay. पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलम् गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटम् नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधना बोधितम् लोके सज्जन षट्पदैरहरहः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयाद् भारत पंकजं कलिमल प्रध्वंसिन श्रेयसे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपा तमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्र रुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः gayanti yam samagaha dhyanavasthita tadgatena manasa pashyanti yam yoginaha yasyantam na vidussura suraganaha devaya tasmai namaha devaya tasmai namaha. Okay. So Divya, I'm unmuting yourself. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
So we completed till verse number 40 of chapter 1 last week. So let us chant from 37 onwards. 37 Tasman Narha. Tasman Narha Vayam Hantum
तस्मान्नार्हा वयं हन्तुं
Dhartarashtran Swabandhavan
धार्तराष्ट्रान् स्वबान्धवान्
Swajanam Hi Katham Hatva
स्वजनं हि कथं हत्वा
Sukhinasyama Madhava
सुखिनः स्याम माधव
Yadyapyete na pashyanti
यद्यप्येनेन पश्यन्ति
Yadyapyete
यद्यप्येतेन पश्यन्ति
Lobhopahata Chetasaha
लोभोपहतचेतसः
Kula Kshayakritam Dosham
कुलक्षयकृतं दोषम्
Mitradrohe Chapatakam
मित्रद्रोहे च पातकम्
Katham na Jneyyamasmabhihi
कथं न ज्ञेयमस्माभिः
Papadasman
पापादस्मान्निवर्तितुम्
Kulakshayakritam dosham
कुलक्षयकृतं दोषम्
prapashyadbhirjanardana
प्रपश्यद्भिर्जनार्दन
kulakshaye pranashyanti
कुलक्षये प्रणश्यन्ति
kuladharma sanatanaha
कुलधर्मा सनातनाः
dharme nashte kulam kritsnam
धर्मे नष्टे कुलं कृत्स्नम्
adharmo bibhavatyuta.
अधर्मोऽभिभवत्युत
Let's chant the next one also. Adharma bhibhavat Krishna
अधर्माभिभवात् कृष्ण
pradushyanti kulastriyaha
प्रदुष्यन्ति कुलस्त्रियः
trishu dushtasu VArshNeya
स्त्रीषु दुष्टासु वार्ष्णेय
jayate varna sankaraha.
जायते वर्णसङ्करः
Yeah, stay unmuted. So those of you, Manjula, Krishna, Pradeep, Vijayji, you can turn on your video feeds. So we saw how Arjuna's mindset was changing rapidly because he saw that pretty much everybody there, being lived in that country, being part of the ruling clan, and you must imagine ruling clan means what. So all the attention is on them, and people come and go, and so they must be in the center of attraction, and so they came to know everybody. and all kings and sub-kings and everything were there and coming and going, and some small wars may have been fought. And so he saw everybody that he knew on both sides of the camp of this war. Then immediately he tells Krishna in verse number 31 itself, he says that Nimittani cha pashyami viparitani keshava hastva swajanam ahave. Swajanam. He calls all these people as my own people. Swajanam. And then again in verse number 37. So swajanam hi katham hatva. Killing my own people. Katham sukhinaha syam. How we can all be happy? Please tell me, oh Madhava. You are the one who knows. And so you please tell me how killing our own people we can be happy, like that he says. So he is already, that is his fundamental problem, which is I am in conflict with the people I am related to. And on top of that, conflict itself is a problem, and having to attack and kill our own people is not written in any book. And so this Arjuna is now confused. That is the cause of all his confusion. And then in 38 and 39, he says that all the people who are given to dharma, people who know about our culture, about our traditions, they're all standing there and they're all going to get killed. And now, when that happens, the family dharma will get destroyed. Kula dharma. So, kulakshaya kritam dosham, he says in 38. And then again, kulakshaya kritam dosham, he says again in 39. And again in the second line of 39, he says, kulakshaye pranashyanti, kuladharmaha sanatana. And so he's now come down all the way to the level of the family, individual families. So if you look at the countries that are strong means that keep moving on. India is an example where despite all the corruption, despite the state governments and the center just doing whatever they want, and things move, things seem to be moving, and people are not that affected. And that is because of only one reason. I thought about this. And this one reason is this family dharma, kula dharma. That is the only reason. So people seem to be doing the right things. And even though they get sidetracked, there is no role model, proper role models and all that. But the kula dharma is there. And so this life, religious life, is very much a part of the Indian life. And so much traditions are there, and so things keep moving. Otherwise, you won't have this kind of a stable system. And so Arjuna recognizes that, and he talks about, he says, when the family is destroyed, all the ancient dharmas perish. Why ancient dharma should perish if the family is destroyed? Well, because the family is the container of the ancient dharma. The family is not there, then who is there to take care of it? Books may have all these things, but books are not going to help us that much unless it's being practiced on a day-to-day life, day-to-day basis. And so he says, when dharma is lost, will not adharma overwhelm the society? Overwhelm the society means, he says here, overwhelms the entire family. In 40, he says, adharmaha abhibhavati, kulam abhibhavati. He is referring to the family. And then if the families are ruptured, then the society doesn't take much time. And then in 41, he now brings in that, hey, if such people are destroyed in battle, then in the family Strishu. So look at this, 41. So adharma bhavat Krishna pradushyanti kulastriyah. Kulastriyah pradushyanti. So there, for various reasons, the women who don't have the men to protect. So those days, that was how the society was. And so if the women are not protected like that, then they are going to get affected and pradushyanti, given to improper ways. And that is a concern for Arjuna, because he says the women are the ones who sustain the family, and if they are not available, then Strishu dushtashu he VArshNeya, when the women become corrupt, then he says jayate varna sankara. Jayate varna sankara. So varna, now he brings in society. Sankara, that you may have not seen this word before. Shankara we have seen before. Shankara. So Shiva, Shankara. So in Sanskrit, there are all these letters are all properly categorized and in terms of pronunciation. So ka, ka, ga, gha, nga. The point of articulation is this throat. They are called kantyaha, throat. The sound emanates from the throat, created from the throat. Then there is this cha, cha, ja, ja, nga. And these are all cha. If you do the letter cha, you will find that the tip of the tongue is touching the roof of the mouth, the palate. Hence, this group of letters is called palatal, talu, talavyaha, talavyaha. And this Shiva, Sha also comes in the same category. Cha, cha, ja, ja, nga, sha, e, e. All these letters come from that category. So the Sha, Shiva, and here it is Sankara, Sakara. So Surya, that same Sakara, and Savitri. So all this, that Sakara is being used here, and it's a dental sound. Ta, tha, da, dha, na, and then sa. So it's a dental, dantyaha, it's called dantyaha, because the tip of the tongue is touching that front teeth, and sometimes other teeth also. If you say, you can see how the tongue, the position of the tongue determines what kind of sound comes out. And that's why when a child is born and growing up and begins to speak, and it still hasn't learned how to operate the tongue, and so Malayalam and all that, so it is unable to speak properly, and some letters are coming out, and we begin to infer, and then slowly it takes some time for that sounds to get refined, and some sounds are easier to produce, and so ta ta ta, the child says. So the dental sound seems to be easy to make, but pa is difficult, because pa requires the two lips to come together. Pa, labia. So the child will take a little extra time. So amma it will say, mama it will say, but it doesn't know how to articulate. So anyway, Sankaraha means confusion. Varna Sankaraha means confusion in society. Confusion in society is born. Varna Sankaraha jayate. Jayate means born. Because the men are not there, all the able-bodied people are all in war, and whether they are going to win or lose, they are all going to die. And this Bhishma and Karna and Arjuna and all, they are not going to keep quiet. And all of us are going to just kill each other, finish each other off. That is what he says here. And so this Kula Dharma, Varna Dharma, Ashrama Dharma, these are all very important in our society. And so our society is structured by that. So this so-called modern life is kind of shaking it up. We hear, and despite that, most of the families, they go by this. They go by this. And a Kshatriya will say, I am a Kshatriya. So I will not put up with certain things, and I will go and stop these kinds of activities, adharma, and I will go to war if needed. All that comes. That's the Kula Dharma. And that is the Ashrama Dharma, that is Varna Dharma. So many things are involved. Varna Dharma, Ashrama Dharma, the Dharma that is there in one's life itself for each individual. So that is what makes our parents tell us, no, you must study, you must study, you must study. And then until some time, afterwards you do what you want. But as long as you're here in my home, and you have to study and go to school. This is Ashrama Dharma working. And then Grihastha Dharma is there. So once you get married, and then there is a particular Dharma, all set up. Look at how it was all set up. We shouldn't think it is all automatic. Yeah, it is automatic because it's all set up. And there is so much to learn and so much to appreciate in this system. So he says, so the other day, our friends from Mysore, they used to tell me, Jayakumar, these children, college children, I don't know what they're doing these days. And they're coming and going at whatever time. And their language also I don't follow. And their food habits, you don't have to ask. And they don't listen to us anymore. And munching chips all the time. And like this, the complaint came to me. And then why don't you, I want you to please conduct some sessions for these boys and girls. Now, how can anybody make these people sit in one room? And then what kind of lecture one can give? Already they are going to lectures all day long. They are attending lectures in classes, in college, and they don't want to come home and sit in another class. Okay, this is the last thing they want to do. So somehow I ended up facing a bunch of these boys and girls, and so I said, to be safe, I said, what is it you want to know? What is it you want to know? Why are you here? So I put the ball in their court, and so then it went on. And so believe it or not, in one of the sessions, I actually talked about food. None of us, I never had a lecture on food, although my mother used to lecture all the time. And this is good for you. That is this vendeka, this okra is good for your brain and all. I remember they used to say. No proof is there. I've not seen any proof yet. But we used to eat all that. But this thing, now I had to figure out what am I going to say about food. And so 1 hour we spent on food itself. And what is our duty? What does the body need? And what happens when you consume all this high calorie foods and this and that junk food, and all this lecture came. So anyway, so even look at this. Why I said all this? Even in so-called modern society, you have this problem where the children, even when they have good proper parents, still the children don't know what is going on, and they seem to be clueless. What to talk of families where single parents and parents are dead and orphans and this and that. One WhatsApp can do so much damage to our families. Then you can imagine what Arjuna's concern can be now. Imagine what concern he has. And he says, this society is as good as destroyed. It won't last. That is what he says. So this okay. So this now you have to imagine Krishna asking a question. Hey Arjuna, hey Dhananjaya. So what? So what if Varnas are destroyed? So what if all these able-bodied men are destroyed? Didn't they? Duryodhana is not thinking like this. And all the so-called able-bodied men are all siding with their adharma. So do we really need such people in this world? And you've given them enough chances. And so what? Go after them. You're supposed to go after them. Like that, Krishna may have said. And to that, now Arjuna has an answer. See, when we are sure about what we want to do, we are going to try hard to justify that action of ours. So Arjuna is unstoppable here. And let's see what he says in verse number 42. Okay, so anybody else who wants to chant? Sharada, I will. Sharada.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Verse number 42. Everybody else stay muted. Sankaro
Shankaro
Narakayaiva
Narakayaiva
Kulagnanam
Kulagnanam
Kulasya cha
Kulasya cha
Patanti pitaraha
Patanti pitaraha
Yesham
Yesham
Lupta Pindodaka
Luptapindodaka
Kriyaha
Priya
Sankaro Narakayaiva
Sankaro Narakayaiva
Kulagnanam Kulasya cha
Kulagnanam Kulasya cha
Patanti pitaro Yesham
Patanti pitaro Yesham
Lupta Pindodaka Kriyaha.
Luptapindodaka kriyaha.
Yeah. So here he continues. He is answering to Krishna's inferred question. What happens? So what if all these people are gone? If the Varna is gone? If the Kula Dharma is gone? So what? Then he says, Arjuna says, Sankaraha. Same word he uses again, Sankaraha. This confusion in society, what it will do? Now he's invoking Naraka. Narak. So Kulagnanam Kulasya Narakaya eva. It will take people to Naraka only. Narakaya eva. It will take people to Naraka. And what kind of people? These people, Kulagnana, those who have destroyed the families, destroyed the society, those people, and the Kulasya also, and the people who are surviving also will go to hell. Why people who are surviving will go to Naraka? I should not use the word hell. I'll tell you in a minute. Why they will go to Naraka? Because he just said, Kula, those who are surviving, they also will, because they don't have any role models and no leaders, and they also will take to adharma. So they also will end up in Naraka. So he's invoking Naraka. So Naraka is an idea again in our culture, which refers to a place opposite of Swarga. So Swarga is is a place where you can only have pleasant experiences, no unpleasant experience at all. Naraka is the opposite of that, where you can only have unpleasant experiences. This is what Shastram says. There can't be any pleasant experience there. Now, Swarga cannot be called heaven, because heaven, the word heaven is an English word which appears in the Bible, which refers to a place where one goes and stays forever. Okay, stays forever. Eternal heaven. And then Naraka likewise is a place where one goes and stays there forever. Hell rather, not Naraka. Hell. Eternal damnation. There is no temporary damnation. Therefore, these two places are different. The idea that they are talking about is a different place, and they say it is different also. They say you will go to my heaven, and my heaven is the right place to be. That's what they say. So it's very clear that we can't use the word heaven for Swarga and hell for Naraka. They are different things. Colloquially, we might say heaven and hell. That is okay. But when we begin to understand the realities, we don't use these words, because these words are not synonyms. Naraka is not hell. Swarga is not heaven. Just like karma has no word to in English, etc. So therefore, Narakaya eva. They will go to Naraka and then they will come back, because temporary. Our whole narrative is like that, because everything is driven by karma. When the papa karma gets exhausted, then the punya karma will take over, and then life will change. And therefore, nothing is permanent. Okay, so now what? So these people are going to Naraka. He is very sure, Arjuna is sure of that. So in the first line, we can say, we can add a verb. Verb is missing. We can say, Sankaraha kulagnanam kulasya cha narakaya eva nayati. We can put a word nayati there. Leads. This confusion will lead all these people to Naraka. We can say that. Or the people who cause the confusion will go to Naraka, and people who are surviving also will go to Naraka. Then what? Patanti. Next line, Patanti. Patanti means fall. They fall. Who fall? Pitaraha. Pitaraha. Pitaraha means all our forefathers, ancestors will fall. Means what? So now he is invoking another beautiful tradition in our culture, where the people whose parents have passed away will do a ceremony called Shraddha. Shraddha is a very important aspect of our lives, and anybody who doesn't have parents should do this, and especially father and mother. They must do it. So in that tradition, what they do is this. So my father does it, so I've seen him doing it. And so the prayers are offered for the well-being of 3 generations. 3 generations of parents. So one's parents, then the parents' parents, and the parents, grandparents' parents. 3 generations. Because a line is drawn and said that, okay, perhaps just give a benefit of doubt. They all should be living well wherever they are. And just in case they're not living well, then for 3 generations, let's assume give them a benefit of doubt, and then say, let's keep praying for 3 generations, so that uh, you have to stop at some point. And by calling their names, so you have to mention the names, and then them and their families, and so all those names will be mentioned during this tarpanam, as they say, and shraddham. So shraddham comes once a year, tarpanam comes once a month, and this goes on. So Arjuna is very aware of it, and he says, who is going to do all this for our ancestors? And they will, because those ancestors who are this lupta pindodaka kriya, pinda. So this pinda, so rice balls they keep, and then with water and rice balls are offered to this bhuta. So it is supposed to be given to the crows. The crows will come and sparrows and the birds will come and eat that. And the implication is it is taken by our ancestors. And if they don't do this karma, they are bereft of this good life that I am providing them. And lupta means being bereft of. Lop, lop, I don't know in Hindi whether you say lop or not. So lop means absence of. So these pitaras are denied of their post-death rituals. And so Arjuna's concern is there. So this is our thinking. Our thinking is like that the continuity of life is always there. Past life, current life, past lives, current life, and then future lives. And so that all the rituals are geared towards maintaining that continuity, and or rather appreciating the continuity. And then of course moksha refers to a situation where that continuum ends. Continuum ends only as far as life is concerned, but the Atma never perishes anyway. And so these kinds of rituals are very important for us. And so, I used to think like this. Suppose something good happened, and it happened to me despite I didn't plan for it, and whether it's a lottery or whether it is escaping an accident, I used to wonder what happened. There is really, I don't know why I survived this. Suppose this idea comes. I used to think, past life, let's say in the past life, this person was a human being. I used to think like this. And in India, I should put that clause there. And that person had a family, and the person lived a long life and passed away. Now that person's children are going to do this tarpanam and shraddham for the passed away person. And the person is now here. And you know what? There are people who are praying for me even now. People, not living people. We don't know who they are. They are my offsprings from my previous life, and they are praying for me. Can you imagine this idea? It is very possible. And so their prayers are also helping me lead a proper life. And therefore, how can I let go of my rituals and to my ancestors who took care of me and our family and our dharma? And so it's a very real thing that one has to pay attention to. We can't ignore these things in our dharma. So Arjuna is invoking all that here, and he says, without all these things, the people who are surviving will have no identity. Because if you don't connect to the culture, only these rituals connect us to this culture. And otherwise, what is there? And like this, parents who are complaining, they don't know anything. And these boys and girls are just dancing away and coming here and there. No, nothing. So identity is not there. When that identity is not there, cultural self-identity is not there, then you get carried away. Whichever is powerful, the powerful fashion of the day will just carry away the people. So getting carried away will be a problem. And so, as they say, like the flotsam, that is what happens to these people, is what Arjuna is saying. And and of course, Arjuna knows Dharma Shastra very well. So all this is there in the Dharma Shastra, Manusmriti and Yajnavalkya Smriti and so on and so forth. It's all Dharma Shastra. Now he is going to continue. What does he say in 43? Let's chant that. So who else would like to chant? Priya, I will unmute you. Can you hear me?
Yes, Guruji.
Yeah, good. So let's chant 43. Doshairetaihi
Doshairetaihi
kulagnanam
Khulagnanam
varnasankara
Varnasankara
karakaihi
Karakaihi
utsadyante
Utsadyante
jati dharmaha
Jati Dharmaha
kuladharmascha
Kuladharmascha
shashvataha
Shashvataha
doshairetaihi kulagnanam
Doshairetai Kulagnanam
varnasankara karakaihi
Varnasankara Karakaihi
utsadyante jati dharmaha
Utsadyante Jati Dharmaha
kuladharmascha shashvataha.
Kuladharmascha Shashvataha.
Okay. Stay unmuted. So he's extending that argument further, and so this dharma is very important to Arjuna. That becomes very clear. Not simply his own dharma, but the entire Kula dharma, entire family, entire society, he sees dharma everywhere, or he used to see dharma everywhere, and so he is concerned about that. So there is samanya dharma. Samanya dharma means when we say righteousness and all that, we are generally referring to samanya dharma. Samanya dharma means what is universal. You can say universal ethics. So speaking the truth, I know that you don't want to be deceived. I know I don't want to be deceived. I know you don't want to be hurt. I know I don't want to be hurt. I know that you know that I don't want to be hurt. All this comes under samanya dharma. Samanya dharma. So the world moves because samanya dharma is working very much. Otherwise, the life as we know it will cease to exist. So this is samanya dharma. Now there is something called vishesha dharma. Vishesha dharma means specific dharma. A dharma that is specific to a certain person, certain family, certain community, certain society. That is called Vishesha dharma. So this Kula dharma, Ashrama dharma, Varna dharma, Stri dharma, Purusha dharma, all these things come under Vishesha dharma. Very unique, because we are talking about this so-called Indian society. India of those days, he's talking about Arjuna. Vishesha dharma. All that is Vishesha dharma. Because Ashrama dharma and all doesn't exist in other places. Other America, you go, you don't You don't find ashrama dharma. They don't call it ashrama dharma. Varna dharma is not there. Even though in the blood the person will have the desire to study and teach. People who desire to do that will study, will then teach, join a school or a college, doing research. It's a different mindset. And then serving in the armed forces, serving in the government, administrative services, etc. That's a different mindset. I want to serve the society. So every person in the world has these kinds of mindsets, and here also, of course, India, we have it, and that is governed by the Varna Dharma. So Varna Dharma gives us a head start. Head start it gives. And so the children of doctors, and they get used to hearing these medical terms, and the mother is constantly talking about blood pressure and amlodipine and this and that. And so this child, by the time the child is 10 years old, already it knows a lot of medical terms, and so it says, what do you want to be? I want to be a doctor. This is called that dharma at work. Best for this child to be a doctor, because already he had a head start, and the child doesn't have to learn something new. This is how this Varna Dharma used to work. And one can do whatever they want, but the Varna Dharma gives them a head start. And if they don't want to be a doctor, they don't have to be a doctor. They can be a painter, not a problem. And we see families where all these things happen. So that kind of dharma, Vishesha Dharma, he is talking about Kulagnanam Varna Sankara Karakaihi Doshaihi Etaihi. So he says, Utsadyante, that is the verb in this entire shloka. Utsadyante. Utsadyante, destroyed. Is there a lot of noise from my side? Yes? So the birds have decided to chirp here. So, okay. Utsadyante, destroyed. What are destroyed? Jati dharma. Jati. Very important. This community and belongingness. And that's what gives belongingness. So jati. Abusing jati is different. But jati dharma is there. And that jati dharma, kula dharma. So kula dharma, family dharma, jati dharma, community dharma. And what kind of dharma? Shashvataha. These have been handed over to us from time immemorial. They've been coming down. They utsadyante. Te utsadyante. Te dharma utsadyante. They will get destroyed. And why they get destroyed? Because of this Varna Sankara Karakaihi. And Kulagnana, by these people who are hell-bent to destroy the community. I don't want to destroy, but there are people who are there. Earlier he referred to Duryodhana, etc. Dushtas, as people who have a very corrupt thinking, right? So they are there, and so they are, because of that confusion in society, doshaihi etaihi. By these problems, etaihi, doshaihi, our entire dharma will get destroyed. Dharma which has been handed over to us from generations onwards will get destroyed. Okay. And so dharmas will, as I said earlier, Arjuna knows clearly that dharma can be protected only when the dharmi is protected. And so he wants the dharmis to be protected, and he doesn't want them to be killed. And his idea is, all the people I am killing are dharmis. So this kind of a confusion Arjuna has. Okay. So now let's see what he says. He continues with that similar line of argument. So number 44. Let's see now. Who else would like to chant? Manjula, please, I have unmuted yourself. If you can turn your video feed on. Kuldeep, Krishna, Vijay, Pradeep. Your video feeds. Okay, now I lost. Where's Manjula? Yeah. So you can't turn your video feed on? Okay. I don't know. Okay, so Pradeep, I've unmuted yourself. Okay. So verse number 44.
Yes. Okay.
Utsanna
Utsanna
Kula Dharmanam
Kula Dharmana
Manushyanam
Manushyanam
Janardana
Janardana
Narake
Narake
Niyatam Vasaha
Niyatam Vasaha
Bhavati
Bhavati
Ityanushruma
Ityanususruma.
Correct. Utsanna Kula Dharmanam
Utsanna Nakula Dharmanam
Manushyanam Janardana
Manushyanam Janardana
Narake Niyatam Vasaha
Narake Niyatam Vasaha
Bhavati Ityanushruma.
Bhavati Itya Anususruma.
Good. So this is how we learn pronouncing, by keeping on repeating, and in time we will get the pronunciations. So hey Janardana, he's addressing Krishna as Janardana, and so Utsanna Kula Dharmanam. Utsan, same thing, same verb as in the previous shloka. Utsanna Kula Dharmanam. When these Kula Dharmas are destroyed, the Kula Dharmas of all our people, Manushyanam, if they are destroyed, then he is again invoking Naraka. And so he is talking about Adrishta Palam. So here, and whenever he invokes Naraka, etc. So Adrishta Palam. So you know very well that in our society, the Vedas talk about Adrishta Palam. So Punyam and Papam, in other words. And so he is saying, hey, this Duryodhana, he is only interested in amassing kingdom after kingdom, and he doesn't mind just bulldozing dharma. He doesn't even know that there is a next life, and all kinds of papa is going to get. Duryodhana doesn't care for Adrishta Dharma, Adrishta Phala, rather papa. There is something called papa, he doesn't seem to even know about it. Whereas we know all these things. And so he says, after this life, here itself there is going to be a lot of problem. But after this life also, there is going to be a problem. Narake niyatam vasa. Narake niyatam vasa. Niyatam means long time. Vasaha, life in hell, life in Naraka will be long. Niyatam. Because of this kind of an egregious act that's going to be committed. It's going to be, we're going to be booked for a long time in Naraka. Bhavati iti anushruma. That's how it's going to be. Like that we have heard. Anushruma. We have heard, O Janardana, that a life in the world of Naraka, in a world of pain, Narake is inevitable for those people who destroy the dharma of the family. Manushyanam kuladharmanam utsannaha. Hey Janardana. So niyatam, I said long, but the better meaning would be inevitable. It is ordained by law. Niyama means law. So niyatam means it's ordained. You can't escape. That is what he's saying. So you take out the meaning long from here. So long and short is not the implication. Niyatam is ordained, is given. That's what he's saying. Okay. So let's finish this one shloka and conclude. So Surendra ji, unmuted you. Aho bata mahat papam kartum vyavasita vayam yadrajya sukhalobhena hantum swajanam udyataha aho bata mahat papam kartum vyavasita vayam yadrajya sukhalobhena hantum swajanamudyataha. Correct. Aho bata mahat papam kartum vyavasita vayam yadrajya sukhalobhena hantum swajanamudyataha. So here he's pitying himself. That's what it is. He's asking, where was I? What made me come to this war? Where were my brains? Where was my mind? Where was my viveka? Now, sometimes we ask ourselves this question, right? So he's asking that question here. What made me come here? And we were all, what were we doing? Like that he's asking. Look at that. Aho bata. Aho bata. Aho bata means it's like in English, alas, ALAS, Aho bata. That's a typical expression in Sanskrit. And so mahat papam kartum vyavasitaha vayam. So vayam mahat papam kartum vyavasitaha. We are now determined to do an action of great papa. Okay, we are determined. We come here determined. Yad rajya sukha lobhena hantum swajanam udyataha. Udyataha, ready. We are now ready. We are ready to do what? Swajanam hantum. Again, he uses the word swajanam. Look at that. Now he's very clear. These are all my people. So that much he is clear about, and this is the third or the fourth time he is mentioning this. So swajanam hantum udyataha. We are ready to kill our own people. Why? Why are we ready to kill? Now he is giving the reason. Yad rajya sukha lobhena. Loba, greed. Yeah, we are all greedy. We are all greedy people. And we ache for all this real estate and kingdom. We want to rule over people, rajyam, and then we want to enjoy life, sukha. and all pleasures we want. We are all greedy for pleasures. We are greedy for kingdom. We are greedy for Rajyam. Like that, he says. Because of that, we have come here, assembled, and we are ready to do a grave papa. This is his thinking. So ready to kill our own people. Okay, what is that? Swajanam hantum udyataha, due to greed for a kingdom and its pleasures, yad rajya sukha lobhena, we are determined to commit a grave papa, a grave sin we are about to commit. Mahat papam kartum vayam vyavasitaha aho bata. Alas, that is what he says here. So he is now crystal clear. He thinks he has made he is making a great case. So we will see what happens. We are just 2 more verses away from completing this chapter, which we will do in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Yeah, can stop recording now.